Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where Peter McNabb and Stan Fischler and Matt Loughlin and I have had the good fortune to be inside on a lot of thrilling nights. This time, we're outside on another very exciting night, the official team celebration by the New Jersey Devils of their Stanley Cup Championship. The music goes on, the crowd is gathered around. They want to get one more look at their heroes before their heroes depart for a little rest that is very well earned over the course of the summertime.
And Michael, I really can't express what a thrill it is to be part of this. We had a great run last year that ended in the semifinals with the Devils losing in 7th game to the New York Rangers. And this year they went all the way. They're all the way to Stanley Cup champions, 16-4 in the playoffs. I mean, and the fans, just the atmosphere, and I think most especially that 4th game, the feeling right after the game, the emotion on the ice and then in the dressing room is something that I know I'll never forget.
When did you leave the arena early Sunday morning?
I left about 2:30.
And there were still a lot of people here, weren't there?
There were a lot of people, a lot of players. They were moving on to a party that the Devils management put on a nice little party at a certain place. And you know, but it was in the way the players handled the whole celebration, I thought was just very special. I don't think I've ever seen a group of athletes talk so easily about their teammates, so easily about their wives, so easily about their parents, and again, so easily about the fans that have supported them so well. And again, it's just exemplified with the crowd that's showing up for tonight's game.
Yes, there have been airplanes going on over, that's all right, it's a force of habit, isn't it? There have been airplanes flying overhead with messages. There will be a motorcade eventually. There will be speeches from people very significant to the club that we'll be hearing a little bit later on. There's music right now. You'll be hearing from Russ Salzberg, who is the official MC of this event, too. Matt Loughlin is around. Stan Fischler is around, too. Stan continues to be involved in covering the other side of this celebration today, the story that had been earlier reported by WFAN that Gaylord Entertainment Nashville had made a down payment to purchase the team. He had spoken with Richard Evans, who had said that that story is unfounded, and so it is, for now, just being held in abeyance until we can work further on that. Matt, of course, is, as usual, working the crowd here and being a part of this excitement, too. But the emotion level that we've seen here, despite the fact that 2-3 days have passed, I guess traditionally the Montreal Canadiens, who got in the habit of doing this, would do it the very next day. 3 days have passed, and it hasn't dimmed the enthusiasm of people here at all, it seems. And it's great enthusiasm. Just speaking of enthusiasm, Mike, what was your favorite moment of the playoffs? I think it was probably in the 3rd round when Claude Lemieux scored the goal that took the Flyers down 3-2 rather than having Philadelphia coming back here where they'd won 2 games. I think that was the most significant moment for me because it then looked like the Devils could make the finals. The rest to me was all gravy. It was all exciting gravy, but there was a question in my mind whether they were going to be that good to get that far. What about you? Well, for me, it was Game 6. Claude Lemieux's goal that made it 4-1, and from that point on, you just knew in your heart the Devils were going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Matt Loughlin is here. He is down in the crowd. What do you have, Matthew?
Well, Mike, I'm a little protected by the fans. It is a sea of humanity, as you can tell, and as we've been relaying, Denise Kelter is one of the fans who have come out. And Denise, obviously you're thrilled by the fact that the Stanley Cup is here in New Jersey.
Definitely. We've been with them from the beginning.
How long have you been a fan? For 13 years?
Yes, we have. I used to work at Ice World when they practiced there.
What are your thoughts, though, about the stories in the paper lately about the possible move? Obviously, it still brought you out.
Well, it brought me out because I'm a true fan, but I think the governor should really look into her heart. We picked her because we thought she'd be a better governor than all the rest. Apparently, she's not. I understand Mr. McMillan. The Giants and the Jets get more than the Devils, and they're not a New Jersey team. The Devils are our team. Give them more. Keep them here. Keep them where they belong.
All right, Denise, echoing the comments of several of the fans. Obviously, no Nashville, the sign behind me. These fans want the team to stay. Stan, where are you?
Well, Matt, I'm right down here I can't hear myself talk, obviously. I think I'm going to need a hearing aid when this is over. I'm going to talk to one of the fans. What's your name?
Mine's Sean.
Mike, what was your biggest thrill during the playoffs?
When Niedermayer came right through all the defenses single-handedly to make that fucking goal. It was great, just great.
Matt, take it away.
Thank you very much, Stan. Over the course of reviewing our memories, you were in the midst of talking about the 6th game against the Philadelphia Flyers in that particular series. It's one of the more prominent memories, too. The fan mentioned the Niedermeyer goal. I think one of the things that stands out in my mind in a game that has to do with hitting as well as with scoring was Scott Stevens' huge hit on Slava Kozlov in the 2nd game in Detroit, too.
Scott Stevens just proved to be a tremendous leader, the captain when everyone expected him to be. And Scott Stevens had one dream, and that dream was to win a Stanley Cup, and now he is the captain of a Stanley Cup winning team. That's no greater honor in hockey.
That's right. Let's check in back again with Matt Laughlin. We'll have more of our coverage coming up from the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, in just a moment. Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It's about team. And that's what this celebration is about tonight. We've talked about several players. What about one that was born right in the state of New Jersey, and Jim Dowd? What a marvelous year he had.
Just talking with Mr. and Mrs. Dowd, you know, after the game and today, they're just tremendously proud of their son, the only New Jersey player in the National Hockey League.
A year that had a very severe shoulder injury thrown into it, but did not keep him away from playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs, in the finals, and even scoring a goal. There is great pride not only here, but also in Brick, New Jersey, where he is very renowned. Let's watch. While New Jersey celebrated its first Stanley Cup championship Saturday night, a night that will be remembered forever by Devils fans, it was extremely special for Brick Township and the family of New Jersey native Jim Dowd, a man with an auspicious hockey beginning.
Jimmy was probably, of all the boys at that same age, was the least for talent. At the same age, most of the boys were better than he was. It wasn't any big thing, you know, he was just a little kid learning to skate, nothing outstanding.
But by high school, Dowd began to exhibit the form which would bring him to the NHL.
When you make that step up, is it real, or some people step up and some people fold? Of course, you know the story with Jim. He stepped up and met the challenge.
Although his success in college and the NHL has been enjoyed by many, it is his family with the greatest memories of just how good Dowd was.
Of course, to us, at least to myself, at that, I never really knew anybody at all from around Jersey that had gone to college and made it, played well. The next year when I went out to see him at Lake Superior, I was kind of awestruck. I said, gee, these guys are probably the best college kids in the country who's playing. Just great.
Over the summer, in August, I got to work out with those guys, and it's the first time I ever really got to skate with my brother, and I really thought that I was good enough to actually be on the ice with him. He gave me a cross-ice pass on one time to get in. That was pretty unbelievable.
It was my senior year. He was a freshman, and we had a real good team. Lost, I think, 3 games. The last loss was the state championship. Teammates are great, but then when it's your brother, it just makes it extra special.
But it is not only his family, but the whole town of Brick that is enjoying Jim Dowd.
The idea that he's the only New Jersey person born in New Jersey on the team, and he scored the winning goal in game 2. So we're really excited about it. And the family is a great family. And I think more importantly that Jim decided a while ago to make Brick Township his home. He purchased a home in New Jersey. So whatever happens to him in his hockey career, he's going to come back to New Jersey.
More excitement here at the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We have understood that the players are starting to work their way over to the motorcade, so we are getting closer and closer to getting a chance to see these guys again today after having such a wait. We will have more coming up for you from the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey on News Sport. Our coverage of the Stanley Cup celebration will continue after this.
It is the oldest, most coveted trophy in North America. Each year, one NHL team and city gets to take it home. Now, you can own a piece of NHL history by ordering the official 1995 Stanley Cup Championship page. Relive the drama and passion of the most fiercely contested award in professional sports over and over again. To order the official 1995 Stanley Cup Championship tape, call 1-800-GO-NHL-95.
This isn't just hockey. This is roller hockey. Who needs ice? We've got wheels.
Yeah, even the puck has wheels.
You mean ball bearings. Ben, this thing can fly. And we're a bit more civilized around here.
No fighting allowed.
Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It is about team. Along with Matt Laughlin and Stan Fischler, along with Peter McNabb, my old sidekick here, Mike Emmerich from the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. More of the excitement of this celebration that is about to become more prominent up on the stage as the players will be involved in a motorcade, and then there will be people significant to the team who will be talking to the crowd here, saluting them. This is a chance for the players to also talk to the fans tonight, as well as for the fans to salute what the players achieved.
Well, Michael, the people that the people really want to see for tonight have left. The motorcade is starting to make its way around the arena, so it should be here in a few minutes, and that's when the excitement is really going to build. The players haven't been with the fans since the end of the game on Saturday night. They've been doing various different things, but this will be that big celebration both parties are looking forward to.
Well, I wonder where Matt Laughlin is now and with whom he is about to talk. Matt.
Mike, I'm with Frank Gaskill. He's from Perth Amboy, a longtime Devils supporter. Frank, how long have you been here this afternoon?
Since 4 o'clock.
Why did you decide to come out so early?
Get a good stand.
Well, you've got a good view. There's some sense of quiet anticipation here as everyone is waiting for the motorcade to make its way here. You were in the building Saturday night. Can you relay your thoughts to us when the Devils finally won the Stanley Cup?
Ecstasy. Complete ecstasy.
Who's your favorite Devils player and why?
Probably Randy McKay. I don't know, he's good. He's a good player, a team player, hits hard. He's there for you when you need him.
Embodies all those great Devils qualities. There is an update on the Nashville situation. For that, we send it over to Stan Fischler.
Well, a lot of fans here are asking me about Nashville, and all I can relate is what I was told. And I spoke to Dick Evans of Gaylord Entertainment. He denied the rumor that's been going around. And, of course, I talked to Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the National Hockey League. He says it's ridiculous. And fans here are just dying to talk. One of them is Bobby Thompson from Sayreville, and Bobby has his 5 favorite Devils from the playoffs. Who are they, Bobby?
Top five are Scott Stevens, his major hit on Eric Lindros. Martin Brodeur, fantastic save on McLeish. Also, Claude Lemieux, the Conn Smythe winner. The other two have got to be Scotty Niemeyer and Stefan Richer.
And one question fan asked me is, what would happen if this Devils team played the Rangers in a 4 out of 7?
I'll tell you what, the way the Devils played this Red Wings, I don't know, but I would give the benefit of the doubt and say maybe the Rangers would have won just one. So the Devils in 5 against the Rangers.
Mike, Peter?
We will have more of our coverage from the Meadowlands Sports Complex in just a moment.
I can't get it.
Moving around behind the net. Has Ralston there. Swung in front. Score! It's over! Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It's about team. Here again at the Meadowlands Sports Complex, you see the motorcade is now lined up. There are fans lined up all around the high screens that you see there at the left. And of all the fans here, one of them has been found by Matt Laughlin. Matt?
All right, Mike, I'm at the head of the motorcade. Ken Danico and his wife and daughter, the Scott Stevens family, leading the procession, acknowledging the cheers of the fans. And Kenny, it's been 4 days now since the victory on Saturday. How does it feel?
It's unbelievable, and just see the great fan support we're getting. These people should enjoy it just as much as us. A lot of them have waited just as long as us, and it's the greatest feeling in the world.
You are clearly one of the more popular Devils players. You've been here since the beginning so long. The way the players, the fans respond to you obviously warms your heart.
This is unbelievable. I mean, words can't even express how great this feeling is, and I just want these people to have a great time with us. We're the first Jersey team with the Jersey name to win something, and they should just cherish the moment.
All right, well, I know that his daughter's enjoying it along with the wife. Kenny, enjoy the rest of the night. All right, now I move to John McClain as we make our way down the motorcade. And John, the fans responding. Big smile on your face. What a great night.
Great. This is great. You dream about something like this. And for the fans to come out here and enjoy this with us, just great. I'm glad everybody showed up.
After the immediacy of winning it, you've had a few days to let it sink in. Any difference in your feelings?
Still a great feeling, you know, and it's still real special, and I'm just going to hope to enjoy it for a long time after.
What is the word that you'd like to get out to these fans tonight?
Just thanks for everything, coming out and supporting us, and I've been with them just as long as they've been with me, so I appreciate that, and we finally did it. We can call ourselves champs.
Back in the early days of your career, did you ever think you'd see something like this?
No, you dream about it, but when it finally happens, it's unbelievable, and I'm glad everybody showed up like they did this evening.
All right, enjoy the night, John. Randy McKay also in the car. Going to make my way down to Tommy Chorsky. Let me see if I can hop around the back here and join Tommy. And Tommy, you've got your finger extended #1. The Devils indeed are #1.
Well, it's so exciting. It's great to see all the fans. One of my biggest fans since I've been here is right over here, and it's a treat to see her. She was off at college all year, and I don't know, it's things like that make it so special.
Growing up, as you were playing the game on the outdoor rinks, did you ever envision a night like this?
Well, you dream about it and you see it on TV and you try to picture it, but until it really happens, it's just that. It's just a dream. And now that it's a reality, it's yours for life.
How does it feel to carry the label of Stanley Cup champion?
Boy, I haven't even acknowledged that. I've just been so thrilled, just everything that's been happening to us and being able to be around the cup and celebrate it. It's something that every hockey player just dreams about.
Have you gotten any sleep yet?
I had to sleep last night. Finally, I ran out of gas, so last night I had some good rest.
All right, Tom, enjoy the night. Let's send it back upstairs to Mike and Peter.
Our coverage will continue as the motorcade winds its way around the arena. More coverage on News Sport coming up after these words. Come Crash the Party is sponsored by Starter. It's about team. And that very familiar chant of Let's Go Devils is ringing up into the sky here. Check downstairs with Matt Laughlin, who is with Claude Lemieux.
Mike, the MVP enjoying this night. The fans responding with cheers of MVP. Claude, what a beautiful night for New Jersey Devil fans.
Yeah, this is great. You know, the people are having fun, the fans, and this is their reward, and hopefully they can enjoy it and have a great time tonight.
You won a cup in Montreal, which is considered the center and the heart of hockey. How does tonight compare to the celebration there? It seems that it can't be matched. What's happening here tonight?
It's obviously very different, but the fans have always been great here in New Jersey, and they deserve a celebration, and hopefully this will be something they can always remember.
We've asked the other players after it has settled in now for 4 days. What are your thoughts?
It's just starting to settle in myself, and I think it's going to be a great summer, and hopefully we can do it again.
All right, Claude Lemieux responding to the fans. High fives, congratulations for the MVP. Mike and Peter.
The MVP indeed. What a marvelous playoff run that Claude Lemieux had, not only last year, but particularly this year, earning the Conn Smythe Trophy for being the MVP. And I think one of the touching stories is that Claude has dedicated so many of the important moments of his life to his brother Serge up in Quebec province. That another of the wonderful stories about this great group of guys that you were talking about earlier. Let's check in again with Matt Laughlin, and I think Scott Niedermeyer this time.
All right, it's a little loud here. It's hard to hear, but Billy Guerin is acknowledging the cheers. You just stood up to salute the fans. They were awfully important in this Devils drive to the Cup.
They sure were. We obviously, I mean, couldn't have done it without them. They're, you know, they're the greatest fans you could ever ask for, and they've been put through a lot this season with all the talks of moving and everything like that. And they're #1 fans, so we're very lucky to have them. Very lucky.
The 4-game sweep of the Red Wings, has it sunk in yet? And what are your thoughts as you look back on this great run?
Absolutely not. I mean, look at this. This is an absolute dream, and you know, we're just going to enjoy the moment right now, and with the fans and with our families, it's unbelievable.
How do you react to all the reports about the team possibly being on the move?
Well, you know, we're going to let that rest for a while. We're going to enjoy today.
All right, Bill, that's the way it should be as you go upstairs to Mike and Peter.
Bill Guerin, who had some memorable games, the 2-goal game in Game 1 in Philadelphia was one of them that stands out in my mind, but a guy that has certainly come on to be a tremendous player for the Devils this year.
When you talk about Billy Guerin, you just talk about the prototype power forward of the National Hockey League. I thought that the Devils, with their hitting, that's where they really took over the series against the Detroit Red Wings, and those hits, Guerin on Coffey, I thought really helped slow down the offensive attack for the Red Wings and just set up so much of the Devils' strength, that good, solid defensive play.
Matt is down with Stéphane Richer. Matt?
Stéphane Richer is a part of this motorcade as well. He should be. Stéphane, how do you feel?
Well, it's great. I mean, for me, that's the second one, but this one means a lot, you know, and just to see the people around and show up, you know, a lot of people like this, it means a lot, I think, for the people in New Jersey. And hopefully now we're gonna stay here for the next 3 years. Hopefully.
Which one's sweeter, the first or the second?
Well, it's two different ball games. The first one I was a bit too young, and in Montreal, it's every year people always expect to see the team win. But this year that was a different ball game. You guys know we're underdog all the time. We won, and people deserve this.
What do you say to the fans who have come out here tonight?
Hey, I want to thank everybody to show up. They deserve it, and hopefully we'll be back next year.
All right, they want to get this motorcade going, folks. We'll send it back upstairs to you, Mike and Peter.
Well, Stéphane's back undoubtedly is a very minor consideration now. Remember, this is a guy who also has sacrificed some this year and has played in pain at times, but had another marvelous season, especially being the leading point getter in all of the playoffs for New Jersey.
And again, you know, look at Stéphane Richer, just looking one of the best talents in the National Hockey League. No one talked about him as being the MVP, but as you mentioned, Mike, he led the Devils in scoring, and the Devils took so much confidence from that Boston series, and he had some spectacular games early against the Bruins.
Well, you were mentioning Bill Guerin, and in particular, a guy who is from the New England area, and you and I, of course, know his family so well, and having had a chance to be with them and with Bill when they beat the Bruins in the playoffs last year, and then did the same thing again this year. We see Mike Peluso down there, and I believe that's Bobby Holik nearby.
All right, we're joined now by Bill Peluso and Mike Peluso. Mike, what a wonderful night. Can you express your thoughts at this point?
It's an unbelievable feeling. The only thing missed is a few dents in our car from the crash line.
Well, the crash line, of course, so instrumental in the success of the Devils, and I think the fans really responded to the work ethic that you guys show.
It's exciting. I'm just glad this is happening. It's finally reality and starting to sink in. It's an unbelievable feeling. It's great.
What are your thoughts? The team has been rumored to move. Any feelings?
Well, look at the response. We all probably pretty much want to stay here, but those are things we can't control, and we're just going to enjoy this one.
All right, we'll let you enjoy it. You're traveling with Bobby Holik. What have you told Bobby about tonight?
It's exciting. It's an unbelievable feeling.
All right, Bobby Holik showing that he's number one. The team's number one. Mike and Peter upstairs to you.
It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Now, as we look at them, Mike's on the left and Bobby's at center. It's supposed to be the other way around. I think left wing should be on the shifted side. And where is Randy McKay? Well, we'll probably see him a little bit later on. I think that's a throwback to Slapshot, isn't it? We got to mean this bus up a little bit, have some dents in it.
Well, Michael, you coined the phrase crash line halfway through the season with the whole league line. And, you know, it was one of those things that I think that the players really enjoyed. I'm talking about the teammates of the crash line, because they did such a great job so many nights of just adding that little inspiration when the Devils needed it.
Speaking of inspiration, the play of Tommy Albaline was always so strong. Let's hear from him.
Albaline and his family enjoying the congratulations of the fans here. And Tommy, this is a beautiful night for Devils fans. They've waited a long time for it. You've waited a long time for it too, though.
Oh yeah, we've been waiting a long time for this, and everything's last year we lost the rain. It's like this year is so much sweeter, it seems like. We know we've almost been through it 2 years in a row, and this year we finally pull it off, so it's just great.
The Devils obviously finally won some respect by capturing the cup. How much did that fuel the team throughout the run in the playoffs?
Oh, I think it's fueled everybody, you know. We don't have the mess years and all the all the stars, and we just thrive on team defense and all 20 guys working.
I know you're a year-long resident of New Jersey. I know you want to stay here, and I know that you know how important this is to the fans of this state.
Oh, just listen to...
That was an element of it. They certainly don't want to leave this in the court hands. They want to be able to deal with this on the bargaining table.
David, would you agree? I would think that it's in John McMullen's hands more than anyone else, because he can take the deal and go. They can sue him for breach of lease, and he would have to pay the penalties, but they could still be gone and fight the court battles, and 2 years down the road, they're in Nashville playing hockey.
Absolutely. This talk that the Nashville would pay whatever penalty price that they would have to break this lease for them to make the move. So in the end, McMullen has all the cards in this game, and it'll be interesting to see what will happen in the end.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. Don't they need the National Hockey League's approval to make that move to Nashville? And will the league approve it if there's a court order in place?
Well, that's a big question, because Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the National Hockey League, has not taken a side in this matter. He said, and he admitted to it. In the final game of the Stanley Cup, he was interviewed and said, I haven't taken a side yet. But that tells you one thing. If he hasn't taken the side yet, that means he has not taken the side of the New Jersey Devils, because they're talking about moving, and Gary Bettman's not sitting up and saying, wait a minute, we want to change that. So in essence, you can infer from that lack of conversation from Mr. Bettman that he doesn't really care if they do move to Nashville, and maybe he even wants it to get a southern hub for hockey down there.
Interesting. Well, we are looking at a live shot out at the Meadowlands. This is a wide shot of the laser show that's going on at the Brendan Byrne Arena. Obviously, as the sun goes down, the show is much more visible to the crowd there. The players are gathering at the podium, and we are waiting momentarily for some of the players to speak. We have, as of yet, not seen the cup. We have not seen the governor, but we do know that Mark Stevens is out there. Mark?
Diana, we have seen Dr. McMullen.
Mark, are you there?
Diana, can you hear me now?
Nope, we can't hear you, Mark. We'll try to get it cleared up. We do see that the super screen has come up on the left side as we look at it, and we're seeing some of the players coming up on the stage. Stefan Richer, I saw number 44.
What? I can't hear it all. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Talk.
Okay, Mark is back, I understand. He's tested and ready to go. Testing 1, 2. Mark, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Scott, we have seen Dr. McMullen. He was by a few minutes ago in his car with his dog, so there's a good chance that he will come out here and speak tonight. I also want to talk about Gary Bettman, which you were talking about a few moments ago. It looks like if he's favoring any side in this, it would be them going to Nashville, and he hasn't come out and said that, but he said it is not great that the New York market has 3 hockey teams. He points to the other major sports, baseball, football, and basketball, and saying there is no market in any of those leagues that has 3 teams. And he thinks it takes away from the Devils the fact that they have to be number 3 on the list, and maybe they may not be anymore. Maybe they'll move past the Islanders now because they've won a Stanley Cup. But I think Gary Bettman is stayed neutral. If anything, maybe leaning towards it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they moved to Nashville.
I agree with you, Mark. And I think staying quiet is basically saying I'm going to side with going with to Nashville, because, you know, to play second fiddle and third fiddle is a tough deal. And that's what the Devils and the Islanders are doing here in the New York metropolitan area to the New York Rangers. But still, you have to give credit to the New Jersey fans, because again, they have built the power base, but what we're talking about here, bottom line, is dollars. And McMullen in the bottom line says, I'm losing money with the Stanley Cup champion. I continue to lose money, and I don't want to do that anymore.
And Nashville's certainly talking about big money. Again, we are live at the Meadowlands with our salute to the Devils. We will be back in just a minute. And welcome back to our salute to the Devils. Again, our live shot out at the Meadowlands, the players at the podium, the parade wrapping up. We are waiting for the speeches momentarily. In the meantime, we've been talking about the team and the Devils' future. A lot of people, Scott, as you know, have been saying that the team is possibly perhaps Nashville bound. The city, of course, offering a lot of incentives to get a professional sports team to relocate there. But there are some in Nashville who would prefer a professional basketball team over the Devils. During the Stanley Cup Finals, only a few people were watching the action at this Nashville sports bar. When asked about the New Jersey Devils coming to town, reaction was mixed.
I've just never been around hockey. I don't know much about hockey. I might learn to like it, but I'm not sure.
I think it's a great idea. I think Nashville needs something like that. And I love hockey, so I think it'll bring a lot of people into the arena, and I think it's a good business.
A team like New Jersey to come down, that'd be awesome.
Awesome. Nashville is building a new stadium downtown, but it won't be ready for another year and a half. The city does already have a minor league hockey team, the Nashville Knights. They do play in a small municipal arena. They draw only about 3,000 or 4,000 fans to their games. As you can see, it's not a very big arena, and in fact does not meet league standards.
That's
there.
giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Yes,
that
I
3,000
know.
or
We're being
4,000.
nice.
You're being kind to them. It's about 2,500 actually. As we look at Jacques Lemaire, the head coach of the New Jersey Devils, 2 years into it, he grabs the Stanley Cup. He put this team right where they really. Lou Lamoriello is right beside him too. He's been with this team as president now for 8 years, and you have to have a little bit of luck along the way, but you also have to get the players there, and he's had a little bit of both, and he deserves a lot of credit for building this team. And Jacques Lemaire, I feel, deserves much of the credit for getting this team to the Cup, because it is his coaching and his discipline and his aptitude that has really sent this team to the top.
And really, the style of play, this neutral zone trap that he incorporated this year, was what many are saying made the team so successful.
And May, when you get success like that, and it's not conducive to scoring goals, which America loves to see, then sometimes you get rule changes. So because of Jacques Lemaire and the Stanley Cup Championship here with the New Jersey Devils, we may see some rule changes to say that we can't have that neutral zone trapping. And basically what that means is when a forward is bringing the puck down the ice and gets in the neutral zone, they effectively get like 3 players and converge on the person with the puck, and they interrupt the play. They can't progress, and that's in simple terms what it would be in layman terms. But what it does is it slows down the hockey game as far as goals are being scored. It is efficient hockey. It works. Jacques Lemaire proved that, but it's low scoring, and America loves to see scores.
Yeah, and they say that it makes hockey a boring game, which I find hard to believe. Mark Stevens, you out there?
It doesn't make hockey a boring game. I guess you could call it the equivalent of hockey's NHL zone defense, and it works so well, and it's part of why we don't know who a lot of these Devil players are, because it's a system. Everybody has a role. It's not all about a superstar type player, and I think that's a big part of it.
That is,
I think part of the reason that the rally hasn't quite started yet is they're still waiting for all of the cars to complete the route. You saw Jacques Lemaire was just getting out of his. Martin Brodeur is in the back car, the Devils starting goaltender, and I think a lot of people are waiting for him. And now we've got a helicopter coming in. If we can get a shot of it, maybe that's where Lord Stanley's hiding.
So you don't see the cup. This is probably the governor. Would we guess that or not?
That's a possibility. That kind of arrival would work. No, the cup is in there.
Mark, it is the cup. The cup has finally arrived.
Well, I think the cup deserves that kind of arrival. I'm not sure the governor's going to get that much of a warm welcome when she comes out here.
Well, Elvis may have arrived in Nashville, but the cup has arrived for the moment at the Meadowlands Arena, and it belongs to the New Jersey Devils.
And
that
Scott
cup
Stevens,
mystery is over. We know where it is.
Scott Stevens is going to pick it up, the captain.
And then that is appropriate.
Yes. There you got to look at the Stanley Cup, and it's making its arrival, and everybody is waiting patiently. It appears all of the Devils have now finally made their way on up to the podium, so the only thing that we need to start this party is the guest of honor, and that's that shiny piece of hardware. Well, there you go. Scott Stevens now has the cup, and he's holding it up.
The moment the fans have been waiting for. And he should be at the podium momentarily.
I have to admit the people have been very, very ruly here. With all things considered, and I realize this is supposed to be a celebration, all of this Nashville talk has really rained on the party a little bit, and the people have really been good about it. Nothing more than signs and now they're ready. I think they've made their point on Nashville a little bit, holding up all their signs, and now it's time to do the celebrating part of all this. And it would have been nice if they held off a couple of days with all the legal maneuvering, but that's what this organization has decided to do, and now I think it's all just between the players and their fans.
Well, it may be, Mark, that they maybe had to make some legal maneuvering at the time. I understand that there had to be some legal maneuvering done before the Devils' final home game in order to escape, if you will, if they so choose that. But it did indeed put a damper on this celebration, because there is some emptiness there, because there is uncertainty.
Yeah, there's a good crowd out here. There's not a huge crowd. And I think there are a lot of people that, with the news of the day before yesterday and yesterday and the rumors that were circulating today, I think a lot of people said, I'm staying home. It's not worth celebrating what's not going to be there anymore. And in a way, that ruined it for some people.
Yeah. Well, we heard earlier from the Sports Authority security, Mark, that there were about 32,000 people there. I would say that they're probably being pretty generous.
I think they're being very generous. But now let's enjoy the fun. The Stanley Cup has arrived. That's Bruce Driver. A lot of these guys we don't recognize because their playoff beards are gone. It's the first time we've seen them clean-shaven in over a month. John McClain, 13 years with this team, like Bruce Driver.
McClain, the all-time scoring leader for the Devils, and he leads them in games played as well.
That's Neil Broughton. Neil Broughton now with the Cup. He was the final piece to the puzzle. The Devils traded for him in the middle of the season, and he just came up huge in the Stanley Cup Finals, even had 2 goals that final night. His third shot at the Stanley Cup, and he got it.
He's been around for 15 years, Neil Broughton. He was an all-time scorer for the Minnesota North Stars, who became the Dallas North Stars, which shows you that, yes, teams can move in the National Hockey League, and do, as Quebec is going to do, as they're going to move to Denver as well. There's Claude Lemieux.
Yes, and they're all doing those traditional cup exercises, working on those biceps there.
Again, just to think that, I believe that's Tom Chorsky now who gets a piece of the cup. Chorsky's been with him for a while, too.
Tom Chorsky's played
years. Go ahead, Mark.
Tom Chorsky's played a vital role here. Like a lot of the guys he's involved in that rotation, that's Martin Brodeur holding the cup up for everyone. A lot of folks don't know that during the Eastern Conference Finals, Martin Brodeur became a daddy for the first time, a little boy named Anthony. So he had all that going on in his life in addition to going for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and he's a young player there. This is just his second NHL season. And Scott, budding superstar here?
A budding superstar who is vastly underpaid, and he's one of the people who is going to be, as we see Tommy Abilene get the cup and they keep tossing it back. But Martin Brodeur is a big story because he is a restricted free agent. He is #1 probably on Lou Lamoriello's list on re-signings. They have to sign Martin Brodeur back, and they're going to spend a lot of money to keep him, as they are going to have to sign Scott Niedermayer, another great comer, a young defenseman on the way up, a great skater. Billy Guerin, he's an unrestricted or a restricted free agent. He's going to be signed up as well. That's Mike Peluso there, Mark.
Yeah, big tough guy, probably the ultimate enforcer on the Devils team. And if you remember during the final seconds at the Meadowlands on Saturday night, Mike Peluso was sitting on the Devils bench crying. I think that said it all. For a guy who has made his living in the NHL with his fist, to be crying at winning his first Stanley Cup, that shows what it means to these guys. That's Jimmy Dowd, the New Jersey native.
Yeah, Jimmy Dowd was talking after there's Billy Guerin right there. Guerin is, he's just one of those men who's just come on and just played so well. 24 years old. Again, he's up, and Lou Lamoriello is going to have a lot ahead of him as far as they're going to spend a lot more money just to keep this team intact if they do so.
Well, they're certainly letting the players here enjoy the moment, all of them trading the cup, sharing in the celebration, the fans cheering them on.
Diana, that's the rookie Brian Ralston, who came up huge for the Devils with big goals in the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, seemed like it was somebody different every single night. And again, I hate to keep repeating myself, but it goes back to that system. Sergei Brylin, who scored that huge insurance goal, the go-ahead goal for the Devils in the clincher.
Okay.
Somebody different every night.
Yep. Mark, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back with our salute to the Devils.
I can tell you one thing.
Okay, we're back right now at the Meadowlands, and you see Governor Christy Todd Whitman there right now putting on the Devils uniform. She is getting some boos from the crowd.
Go Devils, go Whitman!
Okay, on behalf of all the fans, I'm saying celebrating the team with a forecheck, hip check, who can score and pass better than any other team in the National Hockey League, and they're ours. They can play the trap, and they can do things that other teams are just beginning to find out about. And I look forward to, the same way every other fan does, to watch them defend that cup and bring it right back home here next year. Now, I'd like to ask the captain of the team, Scott Stevens, if he'd come up here. On behalf of all the people of the state of New Jersey, and this is representative for the whole team, Scott, I want to present you with this medal and tell you how proud we are of you, and we want to see you here next year.
Thank you, Governor.
It's a pretty good hockey team you have here, don't you think?
On their way to capturing your 1995 Stanley Cup, the Devils won 16 games, lost only 4 in the playoffs. Their road record was an incredible new National Hockey League Stanley Cup record, 10-1. They stand before you with their families as the best team in hockey. And now I'd like to introduce the man who put this team together, President and General Manager Lou Lamoriello.
Thank you. I have a question, first of all. Governor, where's our governor? What is the trap? What is the trap?
It's a defensive maneuver that the rest of the league hasn't figured out yet. They can't get past center line.
Okay. All right. First of all I want to say is that this is the players' night, and I'll be very quick. We played in Boston. We played in Pittsburgh. We played in Philadelphia. We played in Detroit. And the best fans in the country are in New Jersey. And Chris Terreri put a sign up. And we'll do everything in our power to make sure that sign is correct. This is your night. You deserve it. You deserve it as much as the people up here. You supported us. You gave us what we needed. But right now, let's let the players, the coaches, and all the fans out there across the country who are listening to this hear what you really think of them. the entire organization, 2 words: thank you. And right now, I want to introduce the person who made it responsible, who kept the guys away from their families for the last 2 months. And there is no question, the best, and I say the best coach in the game, Jack Lemaire.
Just give me a second, please. Just 1 second. I heard a lot of things during the whole season, but I never thought I would hear about the trap by the governor tonight. I had enough of that all year. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support all year, and especially in the playoffs. And also, I'd like to thank all the families, the wives, and the kids, because it's true, I had these guys in jail for 2 months. And I also want to thank my wife. Thank you.
Staff. Let's show what we think of them. Jacques' assistants, Larry Robinson, Jacques Caron, Red Gendron, strength and conditioning, Michael Vasilani, trainer Ted Shook, equipment manager Dave Nichols, and therapist Bob Huddleston. And now let's get to the heart and soul of tonight's matter, the blood and guts, the guys who gave you the Stanley Cup, the New Jersey Devils. Number 3, defenseman Kenny Danico. Number 4, defenseman and your team captain, Scott Stevens. Number 6, defenseman Tommy Abilene. Number 7, defenseman Chris McAlpine. Number 8, left wing Mike Peluso. Number 9, center Neil Broughton. Number 11, from Brick, New Jersey, center Jimmy Dow. Number 12, right wing Billy Garrett. Number 14, left wing Brian Ralston. Number 15, right wing Quovia veteran Johnny McClain. Number 16, a crash liner, Bobby Holik. Number 17, right winger, Tom Chorsky. Number 18, center, Sergei Breland. Number 19, center, Bobby Carpenter, couldn't be here tonight. Number 20, right wing, Danton Cole. Another crash liner, number 21, right winger, Randy McKay. Number 22, right winger, Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Claude Lemieux. Another guy who waited 12 years. Number 23, defenseman, Bruce Driver. Number 25, left winger, Valerie Selapukin. Number 27, defenseman, Scotty Niedermeyer. Number 28, defenseman, Kevin Dean. Number 29, defenseman, Sean Chambers. Not here. Number 44, left winger, Stefan Richer. The next guy told me earlier, now I understand why I played 20 years of hockey. Number 31, goaltender, Chris Terreri. And last, but certainly not least, number 30, goaltender, Martin Brodeur. Now let's hear what the Devils think of the Cup and you, the fans. First up, defenseman, 12-year veteran, Bruce Driver.
Good evening.
And what a show it is out at the Meadowlands in Rutherford, New Jersey. You are looking now at the fireworks. We are now wrapping up our special coverage. Scott, any final thoughts?
Well, it was it's kind of unfair for a team when they don't have stars per se. Martin Brodeur is a growing star, and Scott Stevens is a great player, but no stars per se. They call it a team win. Well, it takes a team coming together to win any Stanley Cup. But I guess this team, it was a bunch of role players, and they played their roles very well. They stuck to it, and that's why they are the champions. They're the best team in hockey today.
And enjoying the moment tonight, the fireworks display goes on.
But there's a few other guys here, I'll tell you, that have been waiting an awful long time for this as well. Neil Broughton, U.S. Olympian from 1980. We all remember those times. Scotty Stevens as well, played his whole career, never had a chance to win it. Bobby Carpenter as well. There's a whole host of guys up here that are waiting for this dream. A dream come true. We've dedicated our whole lives to playing hockey and trying to get the ultimate goal. We finally got it here in New Jersey.
Bruce Driver talking about the ultimate goal, the Stanley Cup championship, and winning it here in New Jersey. Well, Trish, as we wrap up our coverage, it's been a great night here from the Meadowlands Arena. It's been great being alongside. I think we'll remember this broadcast for a while.
I think so, too. And you know they don't have fans like this and fireworks like this in Nashville.
Absolutely.
Johnny McClain.
Well, that wraps up our coverage of this New Jersey Devils championship celebration. For Tricia Gasparis and Bramante Bryant, I'm Pat Scanlon. So long, everybody.
Turn this thing around. Here we go. I'd just like to thank everybody for showing up today. It was an unbelievable feeling to come out here and for everybody